Alright, good day, ladies and genitals. I'm here to bring you a very important update on Cardano. We are breaking down. The sky is falling. Is it time to panic sell? Is it time to FOMO buy? Well, in this video, I'm going to run through some technical analysis and try and beat around the bush and not answer any of those questions. I'm kidding, folks. Look, we're gonna delve through some TA here, talk about some major support and resistance levels, talk about whether we're gonna see bearish continuation, and talk about possible support and resistance levels, and just things in general that you need to know about. So, folks, do me a favor, do yourself a favor, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, and I'll tell you why, folks. I was ringing the alarm bells back over here, back when ADA was 40 cents, saying we broke out bullishly out of this ascending triangle here, and we were likely to explode. Let's say you'd been following us, and let's say you got in at the top of the breakout. Folks, even after the massive correction we've had, you could have been up on ADA over 120%. So, folks, do yourself a favor. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the bell. Now, folks, look, short term here. What is important? $1.03. Ultimately, if $1.03 does not hold, I think we're very likely to see bearish continuation, as we can see here, based off this wick, which currently, I mean, we're breaking down, folks. We broke below the 100 EMA on the 6 hour. This is a big deal, because if we zoom out here, we can see that last time when we were in this ascending triangle, when we pumped and dumped, this is where we found support twice. So, very significant relevant support level that we've broken down. We have broken down below a key spike in volume in $5. We broke down below this green line here. We can see, based off these thrice wicks, now this is an important level. We have broken down critical support, and even this wick here, $1.03 is kind of the last short-term stand for Cardano. In my opinion, folks, if $1.03 cannot hold, I think we're probably very likely to retest, I'd say 90 to 93 cents, probably most likely 92 to 93 cents. Why? Well, there's a few reasons, folks. Well, if we take the bottom of this impulse to the top and the bottom of the retracement, we get a fib level to 236 that lines up at 93 cents as well. If we take a look at the giant macro uptrend here, okay, this is quite a substantial uptrend. So we can see here, based off the Fibonacci retracement, the 382 lines up pretty perfectly with 92, 93 cents. So we're now getting two fib levels converging together at 92, 93 cents. What else is also there? A massive spike at volume at really just 92 cents. So we're getting lots of converging support levels all at 92, 93 cents as well. What do we have? We have the 200 EMA on the 6 hour right below us, pretty close to 90 cents. So we have many different support levels converging at around the low 90-cent range. So if $1.03 can't hold, I think that then makes it much more likely. Again, you know, none of this is a certainty, folks. This could just be a temporary fake out. You know, this could be a bear trap where it's going to explode afterwards. But if $1.03 cannot hold, I think it makes it a lot more likely that 92, 93 cents is probably our next stop, and perhaps where I would be looking to place my buy orders. But, you know, who knows? We could fall further. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Let's say that doesn't hold. This level doesn't hold. Oh no, it's doom and gloom. Okay, well then I think we probably have a pretty good chance, if that doesn't hold, falling back down to 75 cents just based off that fib level there. But I think much stronger support would probably be 70 cents. We can see here at 68 cents is where the volume starts to pick up. But, you know, we got some sideways price action here, some kind of price reactive zones in between 72 and 68 cents. So I think this is kind of our next stop if this doesn't hold here, folks. It's very bad news bears, very much panic time. No, I'm kidding. Don't panic, folks. I think Cardano has a very good chance of doing very well over the long term, but we're breaking down below critical support levels, and $1.03 is that key level to look out for. Now, let's take a look at our indicators here to try and get a sense of what is going on in the short term. We've had a bearish crossover on the daily MACD. Very bad news bears, very no bueno. We have had a bullish crossover on the weighted MACD, but it does not seem very confident because we're curving back down, seemingly wanting to have another bearish crossover. Stochastic RSI is in the oversold region, which is interesting. We tried to have a leg up, we just couldn't. Now, something very interesting that I want to hover on for a moment, which is the RSI on the daily. We are testing a key inflection point, which is the 50 level on the RSI. Now, some of you may say, duh, you know, the 50 level is obviously like a critical point because it marks like really like a shift in the state of the trend. When, you know, some people might be obvious, but I think it's very helpful to like visibly illustrate and look at how reactive the 50 level is on so many different time frames. At the 50 level, the 50 level is a very obvious reactive important zone that if we start to break below, we can clearly see how often the RSI reacts to it. So the 50 is a key inflection point. If we start to break below that 50 level and continue to hold below the 50 and make lower highs and lower lows, I think that could be a factor that leads us to not maintaining above $1.03. So maintaining above 50 on the daily RSI is going to be very keen to remain short-term bullish moving forward. Let's take a look at the 12. Is this appropriately enough sad music, folks? So let's take a look. Yeah, so we're breaking down on the RSI, making lower lows and lower highs. Everything's bearish except the stochastic. Stochastic looks interesting. Everything's bearish. Everything's bad news bears. Ooh, panic time. Sky's falling. I'm kidding, folks. I say that because I listen, folks. I find it funny when people panic, although it's not funny because, you know, people lose money. That's not funny. But what is funny is the fact that I think we're very clearly in a bull market that's likely to end sometime near the end of this year. So I honestly don't give two shits what happens in the short term. Gata could correct down 50 cents. I don't care. I'm not selling because I understand that over the long term, it doesn't matter. The short term doesn't matter. We have barely even seen a true alt season yet. So whether we get a correction in 92 cents or 70 cents, I'd be buying. I'm definitely not selling. I'd be buying if we fall that low. So that's kind of my perspective and why I find it funny when people are like panic sell, because it's like, oh, folks, it sucks. Just zoom out, just chill out. But, you know, if you need funds in the short term, I get it. So, you know, 2 hour looking bearish too. I'm not seeing any strength so far. So look at the one's on the way down. Oh, higher lows, but barely. It's not very convincing. Let's take a look at the half on the other side. Higher lows on the other side. Everything's still going down. Let's take a look at the 5. Like, let's see if the. Okay, so yeah, so the 5 minute is obviously super micro, but the only reason why I bring it up is, you know, it could be telling to try and understand whether we hold above that $1.03. So the 5 minute does look strong. Everything other than the 5 looks very bearish, and the 15. Oh, okay, no, the 15 looks strong. Look at this, stochastic bullish crossover in the oversold. The 15 looks strong. Yeah, even the RSI was in the oversold, making a higher low on the way up. Macro, yeah, sure. So the 15, so I guess the 15 looks strong. So folks, just to summarize here, everything looks bearish except like the 15 and the 5. So moving forward, the key level, the key inflection point that we need to look out for is $1.03. If we break below $1.03, I think it makes it much more likely that we retest 93, 92 cents. Key resistance level now moving forward is going to be $1.12. We can see here, this is a VP VAR point of control. A lot of sideways price action that's going to act as resistance. So we're now kind of range bound between $1.03 and $1.12. And whatever way we break out of this thing, we're looking to trend in that direction for quite some time. Now, so another very important chart to look at to try and understand what is going to be happening is the Cardano Bitcoin pairings and the Cardano Ethereum pairing. We have fallen below critical support, and so we're likely to retest these regions here. This is where we're likely to find at least a temporary bed of support, in my opinion, and that could be a factor that helps the bleeding stop on ADA if and when we find that bed of support. So very important to look at the Cardano Bitcoin pairings. It's good for understanding hidden support and resistance and hidden support and divergence that you wouldn't see just by looking at the US dollar value of Cardano. So very important chart. Same with Ethereum. We're falling down to retest these 3 peaks here. Ooh, that's actually very interesting, very technically interesting. So we've broken above the temporary peaks above us. So if we can fall back down and hold and retest and solidify these regions as support, that could be a factor that helps the bleeding stop on Cardano. So very important chart. Another very important chart to look at, folks. Really, oh God, folks, I don't really think you guys appreciate the kind of gold I like. People spend years trying to get us trying to understand some of the most important things when it comes to TA here. I'm dropping gold bombs here, folks. Like, this is like, I'm distilling the most important stuff here. So, folks, another very important chart to look out for is the Bitcoin dominance chart. It is basically a gauge, a temperature check of the altcoin market. If you ever want to understand what the altcoins are going to do, just look at Bitcoin dominance. If it's rising, altcoins are going to suffer. If it's falling, altcoins are going to benefit. So if you literally, if you want to know what's going on with altcoins, just look at Bitcoin dominance. It's very, if I didn't already say it as well, because I always say the same thing, but I sometimes forget when I go on these tangents. Bitcoin dominance is the total value of Bitcoin in comparison to the total value of all cryptocurrencies. So if we see it continue to rally, altcoins are going to continue to suffer. If we see it start to go for that leg down, that's when I think altcoins truly find their bottom and start to recover. So very good chart, very good gauge of the altcoin market as well. It's always, very important to follow Bitcoin and Ethereum because Bitcoin leads the market, Ethereum leads the altcoins, and yeah. So Ethereum is now testing that 1720 range of support. This is the key level. We can constantly see how 3 times now we've tested 1720 and we have held it as support. This is a very price reactive zone. If this cannot continue to hold a support, if we break below this, very bad news bears, we're going to one of the alts can continue to suffer. As well, folks, there is much talk about Bitcoin potentially forming a double top here. If Bitcoin cannot make a higher high in the near future, and if we start to get rejected and go for those legs down, again, that could be a factor that helps place the dampers on the altcoins. Basically, whenever Bitcoin makes quick movements, that typically negatively affects the altcoin market. So, very important to follow these 2 things to understand what is going on now. ADA, what are things going to happen over the long term? Because I mentioned how I don't really care if we correct further in the short term, because honestly I just buy more. So why is that? Because I think this bull run is likely to end sometime by the end of this year, more specifically with Bitcoin September, October. And if you look at the previous cycle, Cardano and the altcoins reached their peak roughly a month after Bitcoin. Actually, let's zoom out and take a look. So if we can see how, is it not on this chart, or is it just not loading? Oh, here it is. So, okay, point being, so if Bitcoin has a very good chance of reaching its peak September, October this year, and Cardano and the altcoins are likely to reach their peak roughly a month after, that means I don't think Cardano's likely to top off until, October, November this year. So come late 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter, that is when I'm going to start selling out of my long-term positions regardless of price action. So just like how you can dollar cost average buy your way into the dips, you can also dollar cost average your way out of the peaks around when a top of the market it could be likely to be. So that is the approach I'm taking. You do you, boo. I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are not financial advice. I'm just a guy who kind of knows what he's talking about. That's it. Why would you listen to me? So folks, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads. Check out our Discord group, link down in the description below. We're going to have a coin call with our members sometime this week. We're going to run through, talk about what was happening in the market, mention some major news stories, major developments with different cryptos, answer some questions. So make sure you join our Discord, link down in the description. And if you like what we do, and you want to support us, consider joining our Patreon, link down in the description below. Get access to our VIP Discord. We talk about low cap gems, interesting setups, and very, very helpful resources. Yeah, folks. So, I'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, folks.